So then you want to have a 3-day candle that's burning throughout Yom Tov, so you can light from it the candles, Yom Tov candles, and the Shabbos candles. What's if you don't? What's if you didn't prepare? Now, what do? You don't like Yom Tov candles? You don't like Shabbos candles? What do? Huh?
You try to borrow a flame from someone else.
You go and you borrow fire from someone else. You ever heard of borrowing fire? Could you lend me some fire? And you go to a neighbor, but it's not so simple. Why? Because first you have to have a neighbor. You have to have a Jewish neighbor around. Not always you have. And also, you cannot walk outside with the fire. Well, actually, you could if you're careful. In other words, you cannot just walk like that. If you have a fire burning, you can't just walk like this, because it might extinguish. So that's not allowed, or it's not practical. That says you're not allowed. You say, I don't care if it goes out. If it goes out, I'll come back again. I'll try again. No, you're not allowed, because there's a concern that the fire might be extinguished, and that would mean that you caused it to extinguish. Because if you walk with a fire into a place with a strong wind, and the wind blows out the fire, that means you caused it to go out. And you're not allowed to extinguish fire and Yom Tov. So the way to do it is, if you're going to neighbor, you have to walk outside, outdoors. You have to make sure it's covered so it won't be extinguished. What if you don't have any neighbor to go to? What do you do then? The question is, are you allowed to ask a non-Jew to light the fire for you? The answer is, if you don't have any other option, you can ask a non-Jew, ask the police, I need fire, we'll strike a match for you. And that's okay if you don't have any other choice. Yeah.
Do you have to say oh geez, it would sure be nice if we had a fire right now, or can you outright ask?
You can ask him directly. Yeah. Being the purpose of a mitzvah, we're talking about a rabbinic prohibition, so it's allowed. So if there's no other option, you could ask non-Jew to invite it for you. Not necessarily. You mean give him something from what he's doing for you? Not necessarily. No. No. Okay. And we said you can't extinguish a fire. Is there a situation where you could extinguish a fire? Anyone knows? Of course, if it's dangerous, you can extinguish a fire. I'm talking about the obvious is obvious. I'm talking about the non-obvious. When on Yom Tov could you extinguish a fire? Could you make this fire lower? Anyone has any idea? What if you find this cooking on? You have to have food that's on the fire, and it's going to get burnt. Fire's too hot. But what's the question? Okay.
Do you just move it slightly off the flame, or
No, the fire's too high. Just move it off the flame. What's the problem, right? Huh?
lower? It's gonna ruin the vegetable.
No, turn it lower.
But then you can't turn.
Why turn it lower? Just take it off. It's not finished cooking. Oh, so you still need the fire. So you want to make it lower. Could you make it lower? Yes, you could. Now, it is better. According to some opinions, it would seem that it's better if you have a way how to make another fire. In other words, you're not allowed to create fire, but you're allowed to make fire higher. So if you have a way how to make another fire in a way that you're not creating a new fire, let's say, right? How would that work? We discussed it in the class, right?
Yeah.
I think that was discussed in the class, how we make a fire, how we could
Start the gas.
make another fire without creating a new fire.
You start the gas without igniting it and transfer.
Right. You get that?
Yeah.
if you have a electric starter, you have burners that are electric. Turn it, it goes tick, 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 right? Yeah, and then it goes, and the fire is on. Now, what you can do is, you can put on the other one, and bypass the electric starter. There's only gas coming out. And then, you take a new match, and you light it in, and go to here. So there's ways to make another fire. You say if you're doing, practice before you have to, so, you know exactly what you're doing. And also the fire could end up being too big. You don't know what you're doing, so you want to practice, make sure before you have to, then you know what you're doing. But if you're able to do that, that would be better than making the fire lower. So we're saying if the food is burning, you can make the food low, you can make the fire lower. But according to some opinions, it would seem that it's better if you have a way how to make another fire in a permitted way. So if you can make another fire in a permitted way, as we discussed, that would be a better option. But if you don't have that option, let's say, then it is okay. And according to some opinions, it's okay regardless if you have the other option or not. Many opinions hold that you could just lower the fire. If the food is going to burn and you still need a fire, and it would seem now to them also holds like that, but it's not clear. It's not 100% clear to me. So, in simple words, if the food is burning and you need a fire, you're allowed to make the fire lower. You're allowed. It's better if you could make another fire in a permitted way, as we discussed. That's a better way. But if you don't have that option, then for sure you need a fire and the food is burning, then you have to make the fire lower.
So most gas stoves, when you have to turn it all the way to get the gas coming out.
Right.
You transfer the match, but then you have to do something with the thing, like the nozzle, to turn it to
You're talking about as electric starter?
Yeah. And usually it starts on the highest level. So
You end up with a big fire.
yeah, so can you, while the match is going, turn it low, or?
If that, okay, so if that's gonna happen, then you're gonna have a big fire. Then it's not gonna solve the problem.
Yeah,
But you have to try it out before you enter. You might, I don't know. I think there is a way how to make it a proper flame.
How?
Try it, I don't know. Just try it before you enter. If you could, you could. If you can't, you can't. If it's gonna, you're saying it's gonna end up being a big fire. And then you're not solving the problem, obviously. You have another big fire. So what do you gain? So I think there is a way how to do it, the proper flame. I think so. I think so, because you bypass the starter and you turn it quickly. You could turn it to any place you want.
that was my question.
Try. What's the question? Then what?
If you could turn it quickly.
Could you turn it quickly?
Yeah, that was my question.
But
While
that-
the match is there, can you quickly turn it to low?
Why not? I'm not sure what the question is. The whole idea is that you want to bypass the electric starter because you don't want to start a new fire. If you have an electric starter and use the regular way, you're creating a new fire. You can't create a new fire. So the idea is to bypass it. Bypass it as fast as you could, and you can bypass to whatever you want. Make it higher or lower, whatever it is. Yeah? Okay. Right. Let's see if we can discuss. Muktzah and Yom Tov. Oh, using hot water Yom Tov. I don't want to discuss showers now. It's a little more complex. But just the idea of using hot water on tap, hot water from the tap. Are you allowed to use hot water from the tap? There are opinions that are strict about it. It's not clearly prohibited. I grew up being strict and not doing it. And the reason is because when you use hot water on Yom Tov, if you have a boiler that has a pilot light, a fire, And the way it works is many times, sometimes you have the pilot light is burning the whole time, and sometimes it goes on and off. It's electric and it's going on and off. So the little pilot light inside the hot water tank. Then what happens is when the hot water empties out and a lot of cold water, every time you use hot water, what happens? Automatically, cold water goes back into the hot water tank. Because how do you get water out of the tap? Using pressure. So the way the pressure works is hot water comes out from the hot water tank, automatically cold water goes into the hot water tank. That's why you can't use hot water on Shabbos, because you're cooking water by pushing cold water into the hot water tank. Comes Yom Tov, you're allowed to cook hot, you're allowed to cook water. But the problem is, after a while, after the water in the hot water tank cools off, what's going to happen is the thermostat will go on, and it will start, and it'll start cooking the water inside the tank. How's it going to start cooking? Either there's a little fire burning there already, and the fire gets larger, or a fire goes on. So potentially, with some of the boilers, if it's electric, if the thermostat comes to such a point where it's pushing so much cold water came into the tank, and now it needs to cook. So the thermostat goes on, and a new fire is created. A new fire goes on. Now you're creating a new fire. So that's what certain types of hot of boilers that have that the fire is not on the whole time, but it has an electric starter. I'm not sure if that's the exact term, electric starter, but I'm trying to describe not a work in the field of putting and installing hot water tanks. But some of them that the fire will go on. So then there are some people that are strict and will not use hot water on Yom Tov. That's a stringency. According to Halacha, it's not an issue because it's not a direct act. There is a rule that a direct act is prohibited, but if it's not a direct act and it's not your intention, then it's not a definite direct act. We don't know for sure that when you're going to use hot water, it's going to cause the fire to go on, because it could be it's about to go on anyways. It could be that you're going to be taking hot water and there's so much hot water there from before already. It's still very hot, and it's not going to cause a fire to go on. So there's a whole explanation. There's more discussion. There's a lot of discussion on this halachically, but this is the basic point, that it's not actually prohibited, but it's a stringency that some are strict and they will not use hot water in such situations. But halachically, there is no issue. So therefore, people want to use hot water to wash dishes on Yom Tov. It's not a problem. And so some people, I know in my house, the hot water tank, the fire is it's gas, so there's a little fire burning the whole time, so there's no problem at all. Showers is a different discussion. I don't want to go into length now because there's a lot more that I'm going to research about it. But the basic idea of showers is, in a nutshell, you cannot take showers on Yom Tov. And the reason is because we only allow you to do things on Yom Tov that is something that everyone does. And back in the days, showers was not something that everyone took showers necessarily every single day. So therefore, the halacha remained this way. The halacha didn't change. And therefore, showers on Yom Tov is an issue. There is a way how to do it. There is a way how to do something, meaning if you want to use some hot water in a way where you're not taking a full shower, but it's not very practical. It's just like if someone is really desperate and I want to use some hot water to wash parts of my body, you could do it, but it's not a practical way to do it. You cannot stand in the shower itself. You have to stand like outside the shower, right? And basically, you make a big mess on in the bathroom, the tub, and you can take some water, and let's say you could pour water on your foot. Like, you could sort of pour water one rim at a time. Okay, that's basically in a nutshell what it comes out to. But you cannot take a regular shower on Yom Tov, is not allowed. If someone is really desperate and they're really uncomfortable, there is room for leniency, flexibility with a cold shower. Those who can handle a cold shower, there is flexibility with that, but you have to be careful with drying the hair. But if you don't get the hair wet, because when the hair gets very wet, and then you're going to dry it with a towel, you're going to be squeezing out the water from the hair. So it's something to be aware of. That, by the way, that's the reason why the custom is that we don't take cold showers, Shabbos and Yom Tov. In other words, generally speaking, we do not. The custom is that we don't take even cold showers, Shabbos and Yom Tov. How come? Because one of the reasons is there's a concern that you'll end up squeezing the water out of the hair. That's the reason why there's a custom not to take showers, Shabbos and Yom Tov. What I'm saying is, being that it's not actually prohibited, but it's the custom, and that's the custom that we follow. But a person who is in a situation where they're sweaty and they're miserable, so to say, and they're not comfortable, so we're allowed to be lenient and take a cold shower. And then, so either you just don't get your hair wet. Many times the hair is not the issue, it's the body. And then you avoid the whole problem. And if you feel it, some reason, you do have to, your hair also has to get very wet. You have to be very careful. You can't dry your hair. You can't just take a towel and scrub your head. Because you put the towel over your head, but more than that, you can't do. Okay, now I'll take all the questions. Yeah.
Is it an issue if you are very careful to not get, like, you get your hair wet, and if, like, either on accident or on purpose, and you lay down on your pillow and that gets wet because it's not intentional, is that an issue?
What did you say? How would you answer the question?
Well, given that you said that you can put a towel on your head gently but not squeeze it, I don't think it's an issue.
Correct. Good. Yeah. On Yom Tov, you could. Exactly. I said it's a long why, because when you wash the dishes with hot water, you're actually cooking the water. Because when you use hot water, cold water goes back into the tank, and how do you use hot? What happens when you take hot water? Hot water comes out of there's a boiler that has hot water in it. When you take out hot water, cold water goes in, and now you're cooking water, right? Now, are we allowed to cook water on Yom Tov? Sure. Could you cook water on Yom Tov? I want to drink 1 hour of hot coffee. Can I cook water on Yom Tov? Yes. Can I cook water because I want to wash dishes? Yes, dishes is something that's necessary. It's it's something that's people do. Something that's necessary for Yom Tov. You're allowed to cook water for that purpose. Showers happens to be, even though there's a lot of question and discussion, how come these days it still stays this way? And that's a discussion for itself. I'm not going to go into it. But the bottom line is the way it's accepted in Allah is that showers go into category that's not shav l'chol nefesh. It's a term in Allah regarding Yom Tov. We only allow things that are equal to everyone. I'll give you an example. In Shulchan it speaks about back in the days, there was, maybe these days also people do, I don't know, but they would put like different types of incense or perfumes on top of the fire, that a fire burning, and then it would create a scent, and it would give a very good scent into the food, into the clothing that you put next to it. But when you're putting it on the fire, it's burning it. So now that's malacha. Now you want to make a fire for the purpose of eating, but a fire for the purpose of creating a scent in your clothes and the food. Allah says no, it's not something that everyone does. It's not a common need to everyone. Showers is also in that category. Back in the days, it wasn't that everyone was taking showers. So therefore, we're not allowed to cook water for the purpose of taking showers. And that stayed this way. So therefore, taking a shower becomes a regular shower, becomes an issue, because when you are taking a shower, you are cooking the water. And even if you're not cooking it, it was still prohibited. The Chacham made a decree that you cannot take a shower with water that was cooked before Yom Tov, because you might end up cooking water on Yom Tov. So the bottom line is a regular full-blown shower is prohibited on Yom Tov. You cannot take a regular shower on Yom Tov. What I'm saying is, the person is desperate, and you're ready to go through this whole bother. You find a big tub, and you take hot water, and you can't stand in the shower. You have to stand outside the shower. In the bathroom, obviously, but outside the shower, right? And you can take water. You can pour it on your hand, pour it on your foot. That's what you could do. Obviously, soap and shampoo is an issue, is a problem. We know that, but there's something that a person could do if they feel desperate. Soap and shampoo is because when using soap, you are smoothing it out. You can't do a lot of smoothing. So to use soap for cleaning dishes. Oh, so with dishes, what you could do is you could dilute the soap. So as the water is pouring into the pots in the sink, you have the soap the liquid soap. It's not a bar. The bar is the real problem. The liquid soap is a problem to rub together. But what you're doing is you're pouring the liquid soap into the water. So it's dissolving into the water that's already sitting in the pots and pans that's in the sink. No, you're letting it dissolve so it's falling into the water. So it's dissolving inside. That's okay. If it's dissolving, it's not a problem. Any other questions?
Another question, so
Yes.
you're wondering how, you can't dry your hair. I know you said like just put the towel on for squeezing, but that's like not really effective. You were thinking about like when men and even women go to the mikvah from Shabbos and Yom Tov. I'm also thinking like as a woman, how would you put your shades on with like wet hair and like ruin your shades all?
As we discussed, you take the towel, you put it over your head, and you let it absorb. And then you could keep on switching the position of the towel.
It's not effective.
It works exactly the same like scrubbing your hair.
Maybe for you, Rabbi.
Really, I'm kidding around. Obviously, it's not as effective, but you're not allowed to on Shabbos. You do the best. It's going to take a little longer. It just takes longer. That's it. It does do it. I mean, if you move around the towel in different positions and move it this way, move it that way, that's all you could do. There's nothing you could do. You're not allowed.
Easy?
You're not squeezing. You take a towel, you put it over your head like this. You're not to put slight pressure. You're not. You can put it. You can put it like that. You can go like that. You can't push, but you could go. You could go like that. Just pat it. You could pat it down. Yeah, but you can't scrub. You can't go like this. You can't go like this, but you could put it and pat it. In other words, you're allowed to. So you're pushing it slightly against your hair. You're not just leaving it hanging like that. You can go like that. You move around 10 positions. You should be able to get the top of the hair dry where the shaper goes. Okay, it goes in, yeah, it should. Whatever, you don't have to worry about it. You'll figure it out. Yeah.
Can you do the thing where like you flip your head upside down, you put a towel on and like twist it?
You flip the hair upside down, you said?
Yeah, like you put your head upside down, you put a towel on, you gently twist it and flip it back up, so it's like on top of your.
Yeah,
That's allowed?
why not?
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
The only problem is, okay, the only issue is,
Your hair's in the towel though, when you put it into the hair.
the only problem is to take a towel and do the regular thing, scrubbing. I don't have a towel, so I can't show you.
But in that turban maneuver, you're wringing your hair.
Not if you do it loosely.
You take a towel, let's say you got out the hair loose, right? And then you take a towel, you wrap it around, you wrap it, what's the problem? You're allowed to put the towel against the hair is not muktzah. You can put the towel against the hair, you just can't scrub it. You can't rub it vigorously, you can't go like that.
No, I don't think you're understanding. You like put your hair upside down.
Yeah.
You wring it in the.
No, not ringing.
So that's
You
what
wring it in the
happens.
towel and then you like tuck it back over.
That's what it does. When you flip your hair, you put your hair in the towel.
You
and then
can't
gets
wring it. No.
upside down. Can I show you a demo? Yes. Go, can I show you? Go like this. And then you twist your hair in the towel once and turn up, like that.
What's wrong? There's nothing wrong with that.
Her hair is rough. Depending on when
You just, someone just said they want to twist the hair. You can't twist the hair. Obviously, you twist the hair, it's a problem. You can't twist
In the
it.
towel.
in the towel.
In the towel, you're twisting the hair.
Yeah.
When you show this perfect,
Okay,
it's not a problem.
thank you.
Okay. Yeah. What? Okay, let's get everyone together. Let's hit the next question. Yes. What?
Washing dishes.
Washing dishes, yeah.
And then he's time to like those and so they put them both, so how to wash them.
No, what I'm saying is when you're washing dishes, let the soap go into the water. There's water, the pots are filled up with water. Let the dish soap fall into the water.
Yeah, but with your hands, if you want to.
The hands, the same thing. You do the same thing. You can fill it, let the water, get some water into your hands like this, and then put a drop of liquid soap into the water. And it dissolves into the water.
If you super dilute the soap in the bottle, like it's a lot of water, little soap,
You can do that.
prepare that before Shabbos, you can
Yeah.
just,
Yeah,
Okay.
well, it's the same, that's basically Shabbos soap. They sell the Shabbos soap, which is basically a very loose liquid, which you can make yourself and save yourself money. But they make it for you, it's like it's, they can make, it's a business. But what is it? Shabbos soap, the liquid soap. It's liquid soap that they dissolved it. It became more like it's watery. So that's fine. Yeah. Okay.
Liquid soap with water?
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it is. Dissolve it. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Clear? Now, what is the halachas regarding opening cans on Yom Tov? Are you allowed to open cans on Yom Tov?
If you still have a hole in the bottom.
Right, so we're allowed to do halacha for foods. We discussed in the last class about all the halachas to do for food. What about opening cans? Is cans permitted? Or is it like Shabbos that's comes a big issue? In other words, isn't like cooking, a lot of cooking on to the food, so I'm not opening up a can. I need a can of tuna, I can open it. Is it the exact same way?
Yeah. I think no.
So it's not so simple. There are some lenient opinions, but many opinions are strict about it. When they say it should not be done, but there are lenient opinions. So those who are lenient have what to rely on, but it's definitely better to avoid it because this goes to the category. There's two types of within the malacha that's done for food. There's two categories. There's baichel nefesh and there's machshire. I don't know if you want to have those terms. I'll just explain what it is. There's malacha that you do in the food directly, the halacha that you do with something else, not directly in the food. The classical example of halacha is back in the days they would make a spit. You want to roast something? How do you roast? When you went camping and have with a spit. You know what a spit is? Yeah, you have a spit and you roast food on it. Now to make a spit takes work. So are you allowed on Yom Tov to create a spit, to carve out a spit so you can use for roasting? It's for cooking. I'm allowed to cook in Yom Tov. Why are you saying no?
Because it's
Because it's not done in the food directly. Because it's not done in the food directly, by the way, making a fire for cooking is done in the food directly. because the fire that you're creating is going to cook the food. This spit is not cooking any food. So this goes to the category of what's called machshirei oichel nefesh, the preparation for food. And that is restricted. Generally speaking, it's not allowed. There are situations in halacha, a person wasn't able to do it before Yom Tov, and he's stuck in Yom Tov, and it was impossible to do it before Yom Tov. So there are situations that it's permitted, but generally speaking, this is prohibited. Get it? So when you open up a can of tuna, where is the malacha being done? In the food? In the can. So there are lenient opinions. So those are lenient. We cannot say that they're going wrong, but it is better to avoid it. Now, muktzah and Yom Tov. What's the deal with muktzah and Yom Tov? Rocks, muktzah and Yom Tov in regards to food. Generally, there is muktzah and Yom Tov. Yeah, halachas of muktzah pretty much apply to Yom Tov just like Shabbos, unless there's a reason for it. Like, for example, raw potatoes are muktzah on Shabbos because you can't cook potatoes on Shabbos. Raw meat is muktzah on Shabbos. You can't cook on Shabbos. Yom Tov, obviously, it's not loose because you could cook. But the question is, am I allowed to move muktzah for the purpose of food? What do you mean move muktzah? Let's say I want to get out, I'm opening up the cabinet, and I want to get food, and there's muktzah in the way. There's something that's absolute muktzah. What would be an example? I can't think of an example. But let's say you have real muktzah. Let's say you have a rock.
remote.
What?
A remote controller.
A lot of the muktzahs that we have are muktzah that you want to move for its space. Right. So, for example, this would be a good example. Money. In other words, this is muktzah that you're allowed to move for its space if it's in the way. So, if this is in my way, Shabbos or Yom Tov, I need to get to something and I can't reach it. Let's say, okay, it's not a good example, but it's small. Let's say it's huge and it's blocked something. I can't get to it. I'm allowed to move it because this is called non-absolute muktzah. Money is absolute muktzah. So if, let's say, there's money or documents, passports, that absolute muktzah, and it's in the way, I want to move it to get to the food, I will not be allowed to move it. Actually, second, I just made a mistake. I think it might actually be permitted. 1 second. I'm sorry, made a mistake. No, that actually is permitted. Sorry, you could. If it's in the way, you need to get to the food, you are allowed to move because the purpose is for the purpose of the food. So that is allowed.
For no other purpose, you can't move it.
Huh?
Because for another purpose, you can't move it. It has
What
to
other
be
purpose?
specific.
It's muktzah. You want to move the money and Yom Tov for what purpose?
I don't know, I'm just asking.
No. So money is absolute muktzah. Anything that's absolute muktzah, you cannot move for any purpose.
What if you
You could move it with your elbow, with your body, you could move it. Yeah, right. So any muktzah you can move with your body. You always move muktzah with the body. Shabbos, Yom Tov doesn't matter. Always move muktzah with your body. That's okay.
I've seen like where people will like throw a blanket over something, grab the blanket and toss it. Is that permitted?
Again, they do what?
Let's say this frog is muktzah, it's not, but whatever. They throw a blanket on top of it, grab the blanket and then toss it. Is that-
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Everyone hear that question?
Yeah.
So she saw someone throwing something on something that's muktzah. Let's say I'm going to throw a big towel and throw it on here on the muktzah, and then let's say this was huge, and then
Yeah.
is this allowed? Anybody? Is it allowed? Okay, so this is muktzah. The question is, could I throw something over it, wrap it around it, the towel, and then move it? Is that okay? Anyone?
You know, what you're watching.
Huh? What do you say? It's called movies? Okay, yeah, you're in the right, yeah. Correct, it's about moving, but it's also about, it's both. It's both. It's both. It's moving and touching. So you say it's prohibited. Right? Anyone else? Any thoughts on this?
No, it's different than grabbing. Like,
Yeah.
if you're allowed to grab it, then you're allowed to blink.
Right, no.
You're not allowed.
Right. Let's say I'm not allowed to grab it. Can I put a blanket over it and then move it together?
Why
No.
not? It's still good to do one.
It's called a shine? Right, so technically, it's called a shine, doing it in a different way. Correct, but that shine, the shine doesn't suffice, it's not enough, it's not good enough. Because basically what's happening is, no, it's not every shine is allowed. Shine is allowed doing it with your body. That's because it's called a shine on paper, doesn't make it allowed. Chacham tell us that this is called an extension of your hand. It's like, if you have, let me ask you another question. Could I take, let's imagine this wasn't muktzah, okay? Can you imagine? It's not muktzah. Imagine. Am I allowed to go like this? That is not allowed.
An extension of your hand,
What is that different than a towel? Than wrapping a towel around?
realizing it's not.
It's the same thing. So why can't I do this? It's called an extension of your hand. It's the same idea. It's an extension of your hand. Now, there are ways how to move muktzah, but that's a different situation. If you have muktzah on top of the table, and I'm moving the table, that's a different discussion. That's a discussion for itself. Over there, you have more leniencies.
But can't you not move heavy furniture on Shabbos or Yom Tov?
No, we said, no, not necessarily.
It's in the, oh, it's not in this room anymore. The Shmiras HaShabbat book says you can't move heavy furniture on Shabbos.
Depends how heavy and how long, how far. There's something, it depends on what situation. If you're really doing major moving. But I'm saying this, when you're going like this, it's an extension of your hand. When the muktzah is here and I'm moving the table, over there is some leniencies because you're not actually moving the muktzah, you're moving the table and the muktzah is on top of it. So that's a different category and that's a discussion for itself. Yeah.
You throw something at the hook, you move that hook, and it works. Is that allowed?
No, because you're directly moving the
Like,
muktzah.
throwing it in your hand. Not
Good
like
point. It's not an extension of the hand, it's the power of the hand. It's koyach, it's your energy, you are moving the muktzah directly. No, it's not at all. But you use your elbows. Use your elbows. Elbows not a problem. Use your foot. You can use any part of your body besides your hand. Now, another example of muktzah, well, for some time, and that is that whereas Shabbos, let's say you're eating a piece of chicken and all you was left is with the bones are not muktzah on Shabbos because there are dogs around and dogs potentially can eat it. But when it comes to Yom Tov, that the leftover bones of the chicken will become muktzah because it becomes it's like a new entity in a certain way. Because till before it was chicken, now it's bones. It's called noiland. Yom Tov, there's another type of muktzah called noiland. It's like sort of changed its identification. It's changed what it is. So now it was chicken, now it's just bones. So those bones actually become muktzah. Now, just because it's muktzah, it doesn't mean you have to leave it on the table. How do you move muktzah when it's on the table? One way is you put a piece of bread on the plate. It's like this, you could pick up the bread, pick up the plate with the bread and the bones together. That's one way. And the other way is if it's bothering you so much, it's really annoying you because you're sitting by the table and you're trying to enjoy the table and the shebang, whatever's going on over there, and there's bones right in front of you, and it's annoying you. Chacham will need with muktzah that if the muktzah is bothering you, then you can't make your own definition of what it means bothering you. It has to be, within reason, that it's annoying you. It doesn't look, or let's say the shells of nuts. If it's bothering you, because you're using that space, Chacham will need that you could move it.
Anyway,
Let's say you finish eating.
yeah.
And when you're done eating, you're gone, you're going, you're leaving. You're not gonna be here, you're going, you're not coming back till, you're not gonna be here. And so what gives you the right to move muktzah? If it's bothering you, then we allow you. But if it's not bothering you, then we say it's muktzah. What you could do is, you could put a piece of bread on the plate. We don't have enough time to go into the reasons, we just, let's give you the bottom line, that we're not we need more time to explain it, like, it might not just be the bottom line. You put a piece of bread on the plate, and you go to the garbage, and you hold the plate with the bread, and you run out the shelf, and the bread stays in the plate, and you put it back, that's how you do it. Yeah, no, you don't- why throw out the bread?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's what you say, yeah.
Okay.
You hold the bread, hold on to the bread, so you throw it out, the bread stays, that's how you do it. Okay, we'll stop here. Okay, continue.
Thank you for your patience with all our questions.
Ryan,
This is better questions. Us or the boys? Be honest.
Did you say you asked other questions?
That's a better question.
it's different, you can't compare.
So the
What's
boys,
this question about? What's this?
that's our answer.
Wait, what did you
Third.
say about the kids? The kids?
Opening kids and young, there are